Hi, I'm Mo, and Sushi Man here.
And I'm TJ, the podcaster whose sense of humor has long been on death row.
And this is...
It's still new to us, damn it!
Welcome to a student of Us, damn it. I'm Mo, he's TJ, he just said, and we are here to watch every movie ever made so we can be invited to parties.
Still waiting on those
Still
invites.
waiting.
We've got plenty of time in summer to get those parties in.
Yes, pool parties, acceptable, 4th of July.
Yep.
Love them.
Cookouts, barbecues.
Yes.
I
don't think we're invited to the cookouts, TJ.
Oh, just in why?
I don't know. We're not, I think we're too white for the cookouts, TJ.
That's probably true, actually.
Yeah.
But if anyone does need someone to sit by them while they're grilling and say nice form or talk about the weather, we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your summer going so far? Even though technically it hasn't started yet.
I guess it's going okay.
We're in the midst of a heat wave.
Definitely. I didn't have air conditioning for like 4 days.
Ooh.
So that was not fun. It was okay for a little bit, and then last night was the 96
This is where we need a drop board so I can play like Wipeout or something.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been okay, I guess. Haven't been wearing a lot of shorts. Haven't been wearing a lot of shorts. I don't know. I haven't had that summer vibes yet, so I haven't felt the summer vibes. I gotta wait till that happens.
Even when we went disc golfing a few weeks ago, eh? No summer vibes yet?
Maybe no summer vibes.
No
yet.
Memorial Day vibes? Nothing of that? Okay.
I don't know when the summer vibes will come or what they'll feel like, but I think I'll know,
Sure.
I think I'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It probably is when a kid accidentally throws a water balloon at me or purposely throws a water balloon at me, but I don't know.
Hey, that sounds like you're tangential to a party if that's the case.
That's true,
So
yeah.
that's pretty cool. Look at the bright side there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
How's your summer going, TJ?
Oh, so far so good. Weather's been pretty nice aside from the 90-degree days that we've gotten recently. But, oh, hey, I think I speak for everyone. I say thank God Boston sports got another championship.
Yep.
Yeah, and as of recording, there's the Stanley Cup Game 5 tonight.
That's cool.
Which, if it ends, would cap off two of the least climactic final series in, concurrent...
history.
Yeah, concurrent NBA Finals and NHL Stanley Cup Finals
Yeah.
I've ever seen. But that's okay. That's why we have movies, right?
Yeah.
To entertain us when it's too hot and the sports are too predictable.
We get the lingering pain that goes on when you watch a team that doesn't deserve it to win at all. Anyway, enough of that. It's now time for banter time. That talk did not count as banter time. That is something else.
That one will be stricken.
That one will be stricken from the record of banter time. Off the record banter. This is the official banter time now.
Yeah, you can disregard that.
You disregard that. Everything we just said, forget it.
We are
right now
entering the banter zone.
The banter zone. Banter
away to the
banter zone. We should just do that from now on instead of saying banter time.
Wow.
Yes, TJ.
Congrats if you're still listening.
Yes, congrats to you. Okay, so it's time we have now entered
nothing.
We have nothing. We have not entered the banter zone. It's now time to banter about movies we watched that are not for these podcasts, TV shows, books, or wrestling, or even sports, which was not part of the original conversation, but now will be part of this. So, yes, if we talk about it again, it will be now officially part of banter time.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. Good. So, TJ, what have you watched anything watched or done anything interesting?
Yeah, I watched Clash at the Castle Saturday, WWE's latest premium live event. That was pretty good, all in all. I watched a pair of Michael Mann movies the last 2 weeks. The first one being Manhunter, which is the first
that's cool.
Adaptation of Red Dragon, the first film appearance of Hannibal Lecter, played in that case by Brian Cox. Damn underappreciated movie. I believe it's still on Prime. If you want to watch that, I definitely recommend it. It's more stylish than the more well-known Red Dragon or Silence of the Lambs, but it's definitely very, very good in its own right. And the other Michael Mann one I watched was a movie with James Caan called Thief.
How's it going? I own that one.
Yeah. It was James Caan and Jim Belushi.
Yeah.
But damn good movie.
Yeah.
Damn good movie, and it's a classic case of master criminal doing that one more job.
Yeah. Michael Mann, I feel like has been picked up a little bit more lately. I mean, it's always been Michael Mann, But I feel like a little bit like the podcast and everybody is like starting to recognize Michael Mann. Yeah. I didn't even recognize Michael Mann. I've seen Collateral.
Yeah.
That's a great film.
Never seen it, but I'm aware of it.
Tom Cruise is the villain in it. He's perfect in it. Jamie Foxx is the good guy.
Yeah.
It's really good. Heat. Classic. Heat's amazing.
Yep. I always forget about Heat too. That's the
You always
funny
forget.
thing. Like I know it's such a great movie, but for some reason it never comes to mind. When
It's
I think
all
of
like
Michael
in
Mann.
the height of the powers. You got Al Pacino.
Mhm.
He won the Oscar in '92, so
Yeah.
he's still hot. Robert De Niro, Goodfellas was still going on. Casino was the same year, but
Yeah.
still Robert De Niro. And then you had Val Kilmer,
Kilmer.
coming off of Superman. Superman, Batman.
Batman, yeah.
Yeah, and all that stuff. All people at the heights of the powers just came together and made like this movie.
Oh, and it's a classic.
It's a
yeah.
classic, yeah.
But no, I was pleasantly surprised with Thief. I'd never heard of it really, but very good.
Yeah.
I started Northern Exposure.
I actually own the DVDs of those.
Do you really?
Yeah, I have, I've tried to watch the whole series, but I just
I'm
stopped.
only 3 episodes in, but it's good. It's good so far. Yeah.
It's okay. I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it was okay. I gotta finish it, so maybe I'll restart it all again.
I was caught off guard because I just assumed it was a laugh track comedy.
Yeah.
And it's not at all. It's like a hour-long, drama comedy, which is fine.
Yeah.
I was going into it
I
expecting
think
a laugh track.
after Twin Peaks, even though Twin Peaks wasn't like a super hit, only lasted 2 seasons. Every like network tried to have their own like out of the box show.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know if Northern Exposure ran on ABC or NBC, maybe Fox. I don't know what channel.
Might have been
but
CBS actually.
I have been CBS, so it was like, okay, we need our own kind of goofy kind of thing. So Northern Exposure. ABC
Yeah.
did Picket Fences and like, stuff like that.
You're right. We'll see.
We needed a show. They need a show that's a little bit out of the box, but not like David Lynch out of the box.
Right. We'll see your. They took the Twin Peaks aesthetic of rural Washington with the woods.
Yeah.
And basically said, okay, now we'll try Alaska, or yeah, I see what you mean.
How do you feel about the main character in Northern Exposure?
It's a dick.
Wiseman? Yeah, he's
It's
an
a
asshole.
dick.
He's not a good main character.
I mean, I'm assuming that he grows, and no, he doesn't.
I think he accepts it. I don't know. It just seems like always the same.
Oh yeah, because I the first episode I just was thinking, wow, this guy's super unlikable.
Yeah.
But I figured by the end of season 1 he'd kind of he's like the anti Dale Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, now I think about it. But yeah, first episode he was very obnoxious. Second episode, still a whiny bitch. Third episode, still a whiny bitch.
Yeah, it still goes on
But
for
he's
a while.
kind of getting, I think,
Yeah.
resolved. He's kind of resolved himself to the fact that he's staying there. But I don't know. He needs to stop being a whiny bitch.
Yeah, it does.
But I've always heard of the legend of that show and how
I've
great
always-
it supposedly is. So
Yeah, because when I first introduced to it, it was I think it was YouTube or something. I don't know. I just saw like Northern Exposure. I'm like, what's that?
yeah,
And like for a while, you couldn't find it anywhere. Like it wasn't on any streaming or anything like that. You can probably buy it on DVDs. I don't know how expensive it was back then, but either I got lucky or maybe the DVDs were always cheap, and I bought the whole set. 'Cause I was just like, Northern Exposure, because it was never on any streaming ever. So I was like,
Yeah.
what is this show? And I was like, it
Never-
won it won an Emmy for Best Drama back in like '92 or something like
they
that.
won a ton of Emmys. It turns out.
Yeah.
Golden Globes. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of just like one of those forgotten shows in the '90s that like the Picket Fences
Sure.
of our days. It's like shows that were popular in the '90s, but nobody really like. If
Didn't
it's-
have the staying power.
Didn't have the staying power.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Say what you will about Twin Peaks being too weird for its own good that it got canceled early. People still talk a lot about that.
Yeah.
It influenced everything from
Mhm.
there on out.
True.
Last thing I can think about that I watched recently, I randomly saw it on one of the streaming sites, and I thought, I've never seen this. I'll watch it. On the Waterfront.
Ooh.
Outstanding movie.
Didn't we talk about that movie last time?
Did we?
Yeah, that was the 19. What was the
Oh, we may have. Yeah, I think we may
last
have.
movie we
actually.
did was what
Kane
again?
Mutiny. The Kane
Kane
Mutiny.
Mutiny.
Yeah, I think we did end
We
up
did,
mentioning
yes.
on the Waterfront.
On the
at some
Waterfront
point.
won the
Yeah.
1954 Oscars.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yes, and we were like what won? Well, I think this one should have won
That's
Best
I think
Picture.
why I think that's why when I came across it, it was fresh in my memory. I said, "Oh hell, I'll watch it." And
Yeah, 'cause
outstanding movie.
Yeah.
And I'd obviously known bits about what it was about, but the scene, the emotional scene that I've always seen referenced, where I could have been a contender, when he's talking to his brother. It is a powerhouse performance by Marlon Brando. Highly recommend.
I think I watched a movie called I think it was Somebody Up There Likes Me, where it's Marlon Brando playing like a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who was he was like a criminal like growing up, but then became a boxer, and then he's like I don't deserve these things. Yeah. So that was nothing, but
I shouldn't be a contender.
I shouldn't be a contender. That's exactly what he said. Exactly what he said. All right. Any books you're reading, TJ?
None that are not textbooks at the
Good.
moment.
These books are for nerds. No,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. How about you? What have you been up to?
I'm trying. I haven't been doing a lot of my Letterboxd lately. Michael Moshe at Letterboxd. Let's see, what about last night? Actually, no, Father's Day, we watched Midnight Run, which is a masterpiece.
Oh, I fucking love that movie.
Blank Check.
God, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, Blank Check, the other movie podcast, probably the better one.
I thought you were about to say you watched Blank Check.
No, I did not watch the Blank Check Disney movie.
Where the kid kisses the woman at the
Yeah,
end.
exactly, yeah. The better movie podcast, Blank Check, is doing the films of Martin Brest, the man who made, directed Beverly Hills Cop, Scent of a Woman, Midnight Run. So, actually, I was trying to decide what movie to watch. At first, I started watching What's Up, Doc, which is the Bogdanovich film.
Yes, okay, never mind.
That was hilarious, always. Then my sister was bored, and then I was like, okay, actually, no, my dad was bored. I can always tell when my dad's bored. So I'm like, okay, he's bored. Like, what other movies can we watch? He loves, like, action movies anytime I put him on. So I'm like, let's see, what movie have I not watched? Clear and Present Danger with starring Harrison Ford. Mm-hmm. That's a very serious political thriller, not really an action film. Well, it probably is an action film, but it takes a while to get going. So my sister was like, I forgot, like, can we watch, like, another movie or, like, something? And she was just like, she was messing with me, but like, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll put on Midnight Run. So I put on Midnight Run. So
that is a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
And a criminally under-referenced movie these days.
Yeah,
no one talks about Midnight Run. It's so good.
So good. I think it's Martin Brest, like, that's his magnum opus. Like,
I would.
He won the Oscar for Scent of a Woman, but like,
that's a 10 out of 10 movie.
I would say like Midnight Run's his best movie.
I'm sorry, 6 out of 6 movie in my book.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah.
I'll never get tired of the moment when he has the idea to steal money from the restaurant or whatever, and he goes there and he's like, there's someone passing counterfeit $20 bills. Can I see yours? And I don't know. It's just all in Charles Grodin's delivery. He's such a slime ball in that movie, and in the best of ways.
Yeah. It's like, who's red? It's like, I'm red. It's like, you don't have red hair.
Yeah, right. Or how Robert De Niro keeps tricking, was it Marvin or Martin?
Yeah, Martin.
Martin, look.
Marvin, look.
Just socks him, yeah. Great.
When Yaphet Kotto, he gets his ID stolen.
Poor Yaphet in that movie.
Oh, man, so great.
You ought to quit smoking. It'll save me some money.
Yeah. I love it when the two mobsters who always hang out, who like the two henchmen, the busting each other's balls and shit. It's just
they're just in the background, just like fake punching each other. Oh, it's so good. Just little touches like that.
Yeah.
That is a great movie.
Great. Let's see, what else I watched? I watched some films. I kind of forget. I've been in a mood lately, so when I'm in like a mood, I watch like the worst TV shows that I can think of. Well, name it the worst TV shows.
That's one coping mechanism.
Yeah, I want to feel more pain.
Joey.
Yeah. No, I didn't watch Joey. No. So one time when I was really feeling down at myself, I watched the show Greek.
Okay.
It was an ABC Family show like back in the mid 2000s.
I remember that.
It's the worst show I've ever seen.
I've never seen it, but
it's terrible. It's the most mid 2000 shows I've ever seen. It's racist. It's sexist. They try to put messages in it, but it doesn't work. It's still homophobic.
Oh my god.
The plain white tees are in it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but they're in it.
We should do a season about like high profile sitcoms that lasted like 6 episodes, like Dads, or with Seth Green.
Yeah.
Or the Mulaney Show.
Yeah.
John Mulaney Show, and just like that 80s show. That wouldn't be bad. I mean, it'd be horrible.
Yeah, it'd be horrible to watch. Yeah.
What the fuck am I talking
about?
It
really is weird because I'm watching also the Drew Carey Show right now, which is not a show I'm watching because I hate it, or I want to feel bad about myself. Which is hilarious still.
That's the one that stars WWE Hall of Famer Drew Carey, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, that's definitely. And has one episode with Triple H in it.
Actually, that's right. Yeah, I did.
Yes.
I did. Know
I think it was called The Destroyer, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah. And like, Sweet D's in it. It's like the very last season.
Oh, really?
She's in it. Yeah, Caitlin Olsen. And then that 80s show features Glenn Howard.
Yes,
Harrington.
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Really interesting.
Have you seen an episode of that 80s show?
Yeah.
I think I watched the pilot on YouTube years ago, and I have blocked it out of my memory.
I remember, well, one, it was unfunny. Two, there was one lady who played like Glenn Harrington's boss in the record shop. Mm-hmm. She was the unfunniest person I have ever seen before.
It is funny how like these millionaire CEOs of these entertainment companies can just be so out of touch with what's actually funny.
Yeah.
The producers of these, I guess.
Well,
it's
still happening now, but like even.
Oh yeah. Well, now it's being done as a tax write-off. I feel like in some instances. I mean, my God, these Sony Marvel movies, I feel like they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, that's because the courts are getting involved now, so they're like, yeah. And then, of course, that 80s shows happened, and that 90s show is coming back.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my God, I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I
I
think
forgot that existed.
Yeah.
Was
Problem
that
with
good,
that,
or-
no, it was okay. The problem was that show is you're not really connecting with the kids. I've seen reviews where it says like it's a Disney cast where
Oh.
you can definitely tell they're just a bunch of kids that got together and it's like just like they're like be funny and that's it. It's not really no chemistry like the original cast has. And the only good part is probably the old characters coming back. You know,
Yeah,
that's the only
yeah.
good thing.
And to my understanding, they're not all there. I mean, right? Isn't it? It's
Well,
the parents.
It's the parents. Kitty and Red are there.
Yeah.
Donna's there some of the time.
I know
Topher-
Eric's not.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Eric was there a few times. I don't think Topher Grace is going to have much involvement in the series. Neither is Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis and
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher were there for this one episode.
Okay.
So was Fez, Wilma Von Vama.
Okay,
He was
yeah.
there for like an episode or two.
Wasn't there someone else on that show? Or
There was
no?
somebody else. Somebody else. I think he wore sunglasses.
He might not have been a big part.
Yeah.
Oh, Tommy Chong.
Tommy
Was he
Chong,
in it?
yes. He was in the show.
Oh,
yes.
perfect. Great. Yeah,
Yes.
Tommy Chong's great.
Tommy Chong's great, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically it's just this, like, we just want to see the old characters again, and we don't care about the
Yeah.
new characters, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, if it appeals to anyone, good for them. I feel like we said everything we needed to say with that 70s show, and I don't really want to ruin it. I remember the last season's kind of being a little bit of a dud once Eric left, but
Yeah. I
still
think
have fond
they should have done
memories.
that 2000 show, because if they're doing what the show is supposed to do, it was made in 1998, and it was like that 20 years before, so it's just like, keep it going. So
yeah,
I wish they actually would stick to that, so instead of like just being like, oh, we're just in the 90s, like, no, do the 2000s.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool, actually.
Hmm.
See, this is why you need a job. You need a job in television, man.
Yeah. Of course, that's still a bad idea. I would just say, like, we don't need sequels to the show. We can just leave it.
But it's a less bad idea than half the stuff that they put out already.
That's true, yeah. All right, so what else am I watching?
Can I interject something really
Yes,
quickly?
go ahead.
Because you reminded me of something.
Yeah,
So, I have an announcement to make.
yeah.
I made a Letterboxd account finally. So I am not caught up in logging all the films I've seen.
Yeah.
But I did make the account, and I had trouble. I'm always so indecisive when it comes to the username.
Yeah.
And this movie that we're going to talk about eventually here, Vengeance is Mine, it is a Criterion Collection film at this
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah.
And I was watching it on that app.
Yeah.
And I had to, there was this big internet outage in the area, long story short, a couple last week. So I had to watch this at my parents' house. And one of the particularly unsavory scenes that
Yeah.
we'll talk about, my mom came into the room and said, "What the hell is this garbage?" And I said, "Mom, this is presented by the Criterion Collection. Do you have any idea who they are?" I said, "Mother, I know enjoying movies on Criterion evokes real introspection."
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was the most pretentious thing I'll ever say. But that phrase stuck with me. So I wanted to make that my username. It's way too long. So
Yeah.
what I did was I took the initials and I made an acronym out of it. So, for people, if you want to write this down, my Letterboxd account is M as in monster, I as in igloo, K as in kite, E as in earlobe, M as in monster, O as in onyx, C as in cat, E as in earlobe, R as in rat tail, I as in igloo. And that, of course, stands for Mother, I know enjoying movies on Criterion evokes real introspection.
Wow, TJ, amazing. Is that all capitalized?
No.
Okay, can you say that all in this like one way? So
The phrase itself?
yeah, the phrase itself. Can you just say it in like instead of saying
Oh, Mother, I know enjoying
No,
movies. The letters.
the letters?
The
Just say
acronym.
yeah.
M.
No, and like combine them all together and say them all.
I guess Mickey Mockery. No. Mike Mockery.
No.
Mike Mosery.
Yeah.
Mike Mosherry.
Yeah.
That is my
That's your
Letterboxd
name,
username.
yes.
Yes. Wow, what a coincidence.
What a coincidence! Yeah.
What a wild coincidence.
Not
that
like
is.
people would get confused if my username is Michael Mosherry, yours is Mike Mosherry.
So yes, you can find me on Letterboxd, me TJ, at Mike Mosherry.
When you were spelling it out, I'm like, you fucking asshole. What if you become the famous letterboxer? What if that happens? And then they find me, and they're like, "What is this guy ripping off Mike Moschetti?"
I wanted to make it the real Mike Moschetti, but it was already taken, apparently. So, yes, you can find me at Letterboxd at Mike Moschetti.
How long were you planning that? Can I ask you that question?
Ever since the last time we recorded, I said I'm going to make one, and my name's going to be the real Mike Moschetti.
I feel like you should end Banter Zone, but I'm just going to keep on going. Okay.
All right, back to you. Yes,
back to me. What else have I been watching that torture myself? There's a TV show called Heart of Dixie that aired in the 2010s.
Oh, my God.
It's about, I watched The O.C. I love The O.C. The main character of Heart of Dixie played one of the main girls on The O.C. And so I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And it's just one of those CW shows, man. It was just early 2010s CW show. It's just, there's no conflicts. The characters are boring. It's just, I can't stop watching it.
Sure.
So yeah. And then, one show I don't know if I hate or not is Dawson's Creek. I don't know if I hate that show.
Oh,
yet.
nice.
I'm beginning to watch that.
That's the one. I don't want to wait. That one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He really loves Spielberg. Like, I've only watched maybe 5 or 6 episodes. I know it's one thing, though. For some reason, they always have the poster for I Know What You Did That Summer in every scene.
Wait, because didn't the guy that... hold on. What's the guy that wrote Scream? Kevin...
I don't know.
What's his name? I feel like he may have some connection with Dawson's Creek, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, but I found it weird because this guy's like a huge Spielberg fan, but he has the poster for I Know What You Did That Summer.
There's some kind
in his bedroom.
There's,
and then when you go into the high school has a film class, on the wall it's a poster for I Know What You Did That Summer again.
Interesting.
So,
okay. Hold on. Yes. Kevin Williamson. That's his name. He's the screenwriter for the Scream franchise, the initial ones especially. He created Dawson's Creek. And then he wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer. So keep an eye out also for any posters for The Faculty from 1998, Cursed, and Sick.
All right, well.
Those are all other movies.
If I keep on watching,
6 from 2022, so that wouldn't be there. But.
So if I keep on watching it and I see any more posters, I'll let you know.
Yep. Another great Wikipedia photo.
I love
he looks like Popeye.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Not quite Billy Wilder, but he's winking. Anyway,
I still find it weird that if a film teacher is just like, you know what, the great films of history. I still know what you did last summer. I know.
The sequel?
No, sorry, I know what you did last summer. Sorry, the rip-off movie of Scream that he.
Yeah.
Wait, so he wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer, correct?
Yeah.
So he wrote the rip-off to his own movie he made.
Yes, it was the equivalent of running hot water through already soaked coffee grounds. Yeah, that's basically what he did. Yeah. I kind of like I know What You Did Last Summer.
It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
It's not nearly as good as Scream, but it is infinitely entertaining, and it's so late 90s.
Yeah.
I think to me it's probably some nostalgia too. But yeah, it's not a great movie, but it's fun.
Yeah, God, Scream is a great movie. I love Scream.
I love Scream.
Yeah, I love the franchise
too, actually. Yeah. I would argue that the whole franchise is pretty strong. Scream 3 is not great, but it's fun.
I think people have some love for Scream 3 because of how meta it is and stuff like that.
No. There's definitely reasons to love it. It's just it to me is not on the same level. And maybe you can write it off as that's the point.
Yeah.
Is because by the third movie of any horror franchise, shit's already hitting the fans.
Yeah.
So I guess you know what, you can go ahead and just write it off.
I remember watching the fourth one. Actually, I've never seen the second one. I don't think I've seen Scream 2. No.
It's good.
Fourth one I watched at a sleepover, filmed here in Michigan because I remember the local newscaster for Local 4 was in that movie.
That's right. Yeah.
Scream 5. And I haven't seen Scream 5 or 6.
They're good.
I think they're okay. I think they're good, but both starring Jenny Ortega, I believe.
Correct.
Yes, yeah. And one would not featuring the girl who played Sydney, Neve Campbell, because they couldn't pay enough money. So it was like, wow.
Yeah. Who would think? What a novel idea, paying the star of the franchise.
Yeah, the girl who's been starred in all 6 films. Yeah, so definitely. And let's see, wrestling wise, still watching AEW. That's going good. Nice. Forbidden Door is coming up, so that's gonna be cool. John Moxley's gonna kill Tetsuya Naito, so that's gonna be fun. When I say kill, I mean literally probably gonna murder him. So that's gonna be fun to watch. Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland. That's gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be fucking nuts.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. We got some Money Monet, who is Sasha Banks in AEW. She's facing the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. I forget her name, but she's a very famous Mexican wrestler.
Okay.
So that's gonna be great. It's gonna be a ladder match for the TNT title. It's gonna go awesome. So yeah, but I'm especially excited for the main event. So that's gonna be really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love a good ladder match, and AEW puts on good shows.
True. Mercedes Monet. That was Sasha Banks' name.
Yes.
I was gonna say Miss Monet. Yeah.
Mercedes Monet.
Mercedes Monet.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's gonna be exciting, and I don't know, I think that's mostly it. So. Yeah, it's mostly the end up to our official banter time. Exiting the banter zone. Dun, dun, dun. Exiting the banter zone.
Enough.
Okay. So that's the end of the banter
We got to
zone.
work on our transition.
Yeah, we got to work on that. Yeah.
That's okay, though.
Okay.
That's okay.
So, TJ, let's get into the movie. TJ, what the fuck did we watch this week?
Your guess is as good as mine.
That's true. What did we watch this week?
We watched a movie called Vengeance is Mine.
Vengeance is Mine, a title that's probably been used for 6 other movies.
I can tell you that it is the subtitle of a 2021 Steven Seagal film.
Which you threatened to watch instead of this movie, and I dared him to watch an hour and a half of Steven Seagal sitting in the chair.
You called my bluff. I
Yeah.
was not willing to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. I'm glad that I did not. This was one of your selections. You selected 3 Japanese films
Yes.
by the director Shohei Imamura.
Yes,
correct?
Imamura. Yes, I did. Yes.
Any reason why again?
Well, I felt like we needed to expand our mindset. That I'm not saying we were playing it safe. We're expecting movies you never watched before, but we need to go out there more in the land of cinema. So I was like, okay, let's get a director we have never heard of that is probably famous in many other film circles, like film school and stuff like that. That it's not like one of the top directors out there. So I was like, okay. So Shohei Imamura, he has his own Criterion collection, so he has a lot of his movies are. And I never heard of him in my life. And one day I was just going through the box, saw one of the people I follow watch the movie. I believe it was called Pigs and Battleships. I clicked it. I'm like, I don't have any selection for this season. So I'm like, so we decided to watch Shohei Imamura movies because of it. So,
As good a reason as any.
Yeah, as good a reason as any. So to discover a man who is very famous in very film circles. He won 2 Palme d'Ors, Palme d'Ors, I should
nice.
say. Yeah, which is a very high honor in the Venice Film Festival. And he's also famous, high figure in the Japanese New Wave cinema.
Would you say he is an auteur?
Maybe not.
We have
to see.
Perhaps yes. You're right. Perhaps we do.
Perhaps we do. Anyway, yeah. We will see if he's an auteur or not. But at first, let's get into the film some more. Film called Vengeance is Mine. Released in April 21st, 1979. Directed by Shohei Imamura. Written by Masura Baba.
So not an auteur.
Not
I jumped the gun, man. I jumped the gun.
Starring Ken Ogata, Maumi Ogwa, Rentaro Mikuni, and Mitsuko Basho. Now, you may realize that I forgot to put the movies they were in before that. 1, I just forgot to do that. And 2, every time I do that for a foreign movie, it always ends not as funny as before. So I'm just going to stick to that 2 American movies because it's more funnier to know the movies that failed. So,
right.
Yeah,
Understood.
Definitely. So Vengeance is Mine. TJ, what the fuck is this movie about?
This movie is about Iwa Enokizu, a fraudster and serial killer who gleefully leads police on a manhunt while continuing to succumb to his sadistic tendencies. Vengeance is Mine follows his spree, albeit with a disjointed chronology, beginning with his high-profile arrest before flashing back to show us glimpses of Iwa as a rebellious child, a directionless young adult, and ultimately a charismatic psychopath, preying on some of Japan's most vulnerable. Iwa's slayings hinge on his personability and his skills of deception, which he uses to isolate his victims before brutally killing and robbing them. His life on the run sees him murder a lawyer and briefly assume his identity to con a defendant's mother out of bail money before returning to his previous stop, a brothel and hotel run by a madam named Haru and her convicted murderer mother, Hizano. Here, Iwa has been posing as a professor at Kyoto University while seducing Haru and bonding with her mother over their shared homicidal fixations. Despite knowing at this point that he is the notorious serial killer being sought by police, neither Haru nor Hazano make any attempts to turn him in, partially because Haru is now pregnant with his child. This inaction backfires on them, surprise, surprise, when Iwa savagely and unemotionally murders them both and sells their possessions. When he's spotted and identified as the killer on the wanted posters by a former geisha at the brothel, he is arrested in short order and sentenced to death. When visited on death row by his father, Shizuo, Iwa sardonically and defiantly insists that his remains be thrown from the top of a mountain, for all he cares, before his father spits in his face, while insisting that Iwa was too cowardly to hurt anybody who ever hurt him first. As such, years later, upon Iwa's execution, his father and his estranged wife, Kazuko, ride to the top of a nearby mountain, to dispose of the remains, which hang in mid-air as they are thrown. The duo is flabbergasted by that as the film comes to an end. And also, I should also explored in this movie are the effects of Iwa's actions on his family, specifically his Catholic parents and his wife, Kazuko, who had previously divorced him before remarrying him at Shizuo's request, on the basis that divorce is sinful in Catholicism. Shortly after Iwa's murder streak begins, however, Shizuo and Kazuko share a brief moment of sexual tension while bathing together in hot springs. And while Shizuo rebuffs further advances, Kazuko remains attracted to him throughout the rest of the story. This doesn't really play into the rest of the film thematically, but it's there. I didn't know where else to fit it in the synopsis.
That's true.
The movie does end with those bones hanging in midair and his father saying a prayer, more or less trying to figure out why these bones are defying gravity. And I guess I have a theory why, but we'll get into that. In the end, I think it's fair to say no hilarity ensues.
Yeah, you can say that.
Any additions? This was a tough one to write a synopsis for.
I did find it funny when he screwed that old lady out of her son's bail money. Because he just ran. He was just like, give me the money. And he ran.
And he just literally ran to his man.
He was just like, I'm out. A little bit humorous, but besides that. And I did like when the sushi man came. That was fun.
Sushi man.
Sushi man. Take my hand.
So do you think they have sushi men like milkmen here?
I do not think so.
That's not something I want on my porch in a hot summer day.
That is true.
I guess milk.
I'm pretty sure he was just a delivery man from a sushi restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we don't have milkman anymore. I don't know why I said anymore twice.
Do you like sushi?
Yes.
I do too.
Yeah, I do too. When did milkmen stop? I'm not trying to avoid a topic of the movie, but I'm just wondering now. When did milkmen stop?
That's a good question. I mean,
I think in the 80s they were still around. I believe so. Like some parts of the country, I think you still can have the milkman.
Yeah, because it would make sense to have it, especially in areas where there's not as many
green stores or like.
Correct. So it says by a quick Google search says by the 90s the number of milk deliveries dropped to less than 1%.
Ah.
Pour one out for the poor milkman.
Wonder why they. I guess they stopped because of convenience stores and with supermarkets. Well, they realized, why do I need to pay a company to deliver me milk when I can just go out and buy one for like $1?
Yeah.
That's cool.
What an odd job now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Like, why weren't they delivering eggs?
They were delivering eggs.
Oh, they were? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Any like dairy and dairy byproducts, I think. So
Gotcha.
I think you can also get cheese. I'm not sure.
I guess I would track. That's dairy.
Yeah. It's got to be like Juan Lone Dairyman, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, Vengeance is Mine.
Any additions to this story? Like I said, this movie bounces around a lot.
It does.
So if I missed anything.
This movie was a tough watch for me, not because of the violence or sexuality of it. It was just, I was very tired yesterday. It was very hot. I ate a lot of chicken and rice, and I kept on falling asleep.
2 stars.
Yeah, 2 stars. So I was like, okay, I gotta stay awake for this movie. And then half an hour, and then like an hour later, I was like, okay, I just gotta watch an hour. And I was like, I passed out. And I woke up today, I was like, I'll watch the rest of the movie during my lunch break at work. And I was like, nope, forgot to do that. So I had to come back here, watch it. You and me watched like the last 20. You watched 20 minutes, last 20 minutes again. So we just finished watching this movie about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you start with the movie? Because you probably have a better recollection than I do of this film.
Sure.
Even though,
to me, this was like, not like stylistically, I'm sure, but I was, in my mind, I kept joking. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right. I'm sorry if I'm not, but Iwa?
I think so.
Iwa, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Iwa.
This is an interesting premise. So it's based on a real serial killer.
Yeah.
It's based off a book that's written about the true story of serial killer Akira Nishiguchi. They changed his name, obviously, for this movie. And Nishiguchi was like a confidence man, a con artist, a fraudster, someone who had done time previously for fraud, and he was just somebody who was very charismatic and could kind of lie or, basically charisma their way into people's, people's confidence, and then rob them for what they had, or in this case, murder them.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because, we do see glimpses of him as a child, but there's no real, on-the-nose
indication that he's going to become...
Right, there's no real watershed moment. Like, he's a defiant kid in one scene. So
yeah, because he didn't want I guess the Japanese military...
during World War
I guess
II.
not the kindest to Catholics back then. But of course, who was? And who should be? But that's another argument for another day. But, yeah, so they're not happy with Catholics. So they're like, okay, give us our boats. And they're like, no.
Yeah, so the Emperor's, army commandeers Iwa's father's boats, and his father, who's basically kind of shown to be something of a pacifist in this movie, gives them the boats, while Iwa, who's a little child, starts attacking the officer and just gets his dad in even more trouble. And it's clear that he doesn't respect, even from a young age, he doesn't respect his father.
Yeah.
Because he's a pacifist, I guess. But there's no, I guess we're so used to the idea of the serial
we always
killer.
assume, a sighting incident happens.
Right.
But that's really not what really happens in real life. In real life, it's all little things that happens in your life. And make sure, a mixture of big and little things happen in your life that cause you to be who you are.
I think it's an unholy mixture of nature and nurture.
Yeah.
And I think that this movie tries to touch on that, but I don't really see anything of the nature of it. Again, the nurture, maybe you grow up during World War II era Japan, and
well, let's see. Well, you grew up in Japan in World War II era. You're a Catholic, so they were back then. Honor and strictness was top then, but mix that with Catholicism strictness also, where you must
now you
no
can't
sex
even
before
screw
marriage.
around. Yeah, exactly.
No sex before marriage. All these rules, you had to act and stuff like that. It's like a normal Catholic upbringing. Because you want to act out. Because all your life, people have been telling you can act this way. You must look good in the eyes of God and look good in the eyes of everybody else. If you don't, then
right,
not looking good in the eyes of God. So
right.
My guess.
No, you're right, and he clearly is rebelling against his father's piety, whatever the word is. His dad's very religious and by the book Catholic here, which again kind of makes him an outcast where they are. And by the time he's a young adult, and they show him, was he in the military with Americans?
I have no idea.
I didn't understand that.
He stole a car. He stole he stole a military truck.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he was.
But he would look like he was partying with those GIs.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know. He was dressed in camo green fatigues.
Yeah. So yeah.
Anyway, he just say he did some time in the military or something. I think maybe he was sent to a military school was the implication because he was such a misbehaving child.
Yeah.
But regardless, next scenes we see him. He's a young adult and he's playing grab ass with his to-be wife, Kazuko, who also catches wind that he's got a date with another woman, and so it's evident that he's not as honorable about his commitments as his father is.
Yeah.
And then we see him in the third part of his life that we see him in is when the killings begin.
Yeah.
Correct? And
now I don't really understand why he killed the first two guys, the old man and the other guy in the truck.
The
workers. How much money did they have on him? I'm guessing not much.
It's not clear.
Because the reason why my guess he went on these killings was to feel the most free he could possibly can.
Yeah.
There's no responsibilities, no nothing. So he's like, I need money somehow. If I have a job, then I'll have responsibilities. That's not freedom. So I'll just start killing people. So, cause they stole, I think it was only 10,000 yen, which is in American dollars, that's $100, maybe $1,000.
I have no idea.
I think $1,000. I think 10,000 is $1,000.
Yeah, it's nothing terribly significant.
Not terribly significant, but yeah.
Yeah, I think you're onto something with that. This movie does not give you too much.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. It just is a portrait of this individual.
Yeah.
It shows you Imamura shows you only what he thinks that you need to see, and even when he does that, he lets you kind of figure it all out for yourself.
Yeah, because I think really it's just showing like maybe the truest portrait of a serial killer. Like,
Yeah,
we
probably.
find either it's like one way or another. Like a serial killer either is a terrible monster every moment, which in this movie he is. He's a bad person.
Oh yeah.
Every time, but like there's some moments where he's kind, he's nature, and like,
Yeah, you don't see him killing rats as a kid. Or
yeah,
anything.
exactly.
Yeah, you don't see
like when I first read the description, like 78-day murder spree. I imagined he would literally murder everyone every day in that 78 days, but he didn't. He murdered a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie, it's still bad, but he's not like a homicidal maniac. He's still a maniac. But
yeah, he just knew how to. He just made a game of it. He evaded police.
yeah,
for
he
that
raided
long.
police and stuff for that long. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, though. He had been raised in a strict type of household, or at least under a lot of rules, and I think whereas his dad sees, they're kind of a yin and yang. Whereas his dad sees value in order and in following rules and maintaining honor, Iwa is kind of the chaos.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't believe in being held down. He's not afraid of the consequences of his actions. And even when he's sentenced to death, he's laughing at it. He's defiant.
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
Even when, let's just get into it. The last scene when his father and his wife are throwing his remains from the mountain.
He's
And
the
they
most defiant of
freeze
them all.
frame.
Because it's
Exactly.
like, yeah.
Exactly. His bones literally freeze in the air. And it's such a bizarre scene because you think, okay, maybe it's just done for stylistic purposes. But his dad and his wife react to that.
Yeah.
His dad starts saying a prayer of some sort. And I think it is, again, just kind of to let the audience know that even in death, this guy is so petty and defiant that he will literally defy the laws of gravity.
Yeah, and we don't know what happened after that. We don't know if the bones just stayed there in the air or they formed one, like, just a human being bones. Like,
That would,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We don't know, but yeah, his very last thing was like, I'm going to be defiant.
He
and
became Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no easy way to talk about this movie.
Yeah, because you
We
can't
can-
really talk about it step by step because it's like,
It's a
each
broken
murder
chronology.
is not like really like, because I'm trying to figure out like in the mind frame of now, how do we see serial killers now?
Yeah.
Because either it's like the Netflix show You. Ever hear of You?
Yeah, I've heard of
You see the guy he's a very charming man, and I think either you're seeing someone as a very charming man who's also a serial killer, or like just a monster who is also a serial killer.
Yeah.
Because like, and in this one, like we're kind of showing both. We're showing the both sides, like the charm and the monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's so
Even though-
well spoken.
yeah.
He can pose as an attorney.
Yeah.
He can pose
He can
as
put
a
on an act
professor.
whenever,
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, to be honest with you, I've not seen many, like, true crimes or, like, movies about serial killers, TV shows about serial killers. So maybe it's also in there, too. Like, we can see, like, the charm and everything else, too, and see the monster side. So there's probably a lot of mixture of that. But, I always think of, like, the Dahmer series with Evan Peters, where people did, like, thirst traps for Jeffrey Dahmer and shit like that.
Yeah.
I just think of like that. Like, we kind of glamorize the charmness more than the actual killings of it. Kind of like a Scorsese film. You know how like people didn't really understand like Wolf of Wall Street of like yeah they partied, they did cocaine, it was fun and shit. But the really terrible people who did terrible things, and you should not be like them.
Right.
Also in Goodfellas and Casino.
But they're badass in Goodfellas.
Yeah, exactly.
They're so badass.
They're so badass
How
until
cool they
the
are.
helicopters come.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I finally think like.
Until Pesci gets made.
Until Pesci gets made, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I finally, I don't know, I'm not in the mind of Martin Scorsese, but I finally feel like when he made The Irishman, he was like, okay, fuck this. This is all going to be straightforward. There's not going to be no awesome celebrations, no, like, this Rolling Stone scenes where you see,
Yeah.
like, Robert De Niro just dancing. Like, there's not going to be no fun. It's going to show you that the mob was terrible. These were terrible people. If you were in it, you were most likely going to die for either stupid reasons or even stupider reasons. Like you forgot to tell somebody that you're going to go into a police station one day and you
Yeah.
shot in the face.
Yeah.
Shot in the face, yeah.
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 No, you're absolutely right. There's no glamorization.
Yeah, or you die alone because your family realizes that you are a terrible mobster and they want nothing to do with you.
And rightly so.
Yeah, but so
Yeah, I would say a major strength in this movie is that it is I feel like this word is overused, but it is so raw and real. Like, we talked about this with shooters or targets.
Targets, yeah.
So the thing that struck me really quickly, especially with the first 2 murders, is these are not like slick choreographed fight scenes. These are like you and your brother wrestling around as kids.
These are just like...
Well, one of them's got a knife, obviously, but...
Yeah, Ken Ogata's character is just like... We don't know why he killed these people. We just know, like, he just needed money, and he's like, these people have money, and I'm going to kill them. So he grabbed a hammer.
Did he actually work with them, though, or did he pose as an... I think he just
I think they knew him, so they're like, oh, take a ride.
Let him in his truck, and he convinces them, hey, let's stop for a drink.
Yeah, he was a truck driver.
Truck,
yeah.
While I go with our other buddy to get a drink, he isolates the one guy in a field, and again they tussle, and it's not like it's not some slick Hollywood fight scene at all. It's really like a geriatric wrestling with a
or like some slick Hollywood kill where he slits its throat like nothing.
Right, he's like bashing him and stabbing him, and it's very down. It looks like it's a. And
then he kills the other guy.
It looks like a snuff film.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I never watched one, but yeah, in a way.
Then we killed the second guy. He stabbed him, and the guy's praying for his life, and he's like, "If you do what I say, I'll let you go." And that was never gonna happen because he just stabbed you. He just
in the middle of a tunnel. Yeah, he waits until they're in the middle of a dark tunnel.
So he just rips him on the ground and then puts the top over him so he doesn't have to see him. Just like stab him repeatedly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then that begins the adventure of. Ken Ogata's character.
Yeah, and there's no
like... It's like a superhero origin story.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but there's no like stylization about any of it. There's no like music cues that we associate. There's no psycho score over the stabbing.
That's true. I think that was done on purpose because that's how like he likes to shoot. It was just so he likes to Shohei Imura. Let's go into him a little bit. I did some very very not great research on him, but. He likes to show the lower strata of Japanese society. He likes to make messy films. He's interested in the relationship of the lower part of the human body and the lower part of the social structure. Mm-hmm. He asks himself what differentiates humans from other animals. What is human beings? I look for the answer by continuing to make films. So he really is into the underbelly of Japanese society. So because he wants to show the sex, he wants to show the violence, he wants to show that. There's something interesting. It's like American suburbia. Like when they make those films, it's like what's underneath America's suburbia.
Yeah, like Blue Velvet.
The Stepford Wives, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So he really wants to show like the realness of it all. So you can definitely tell it in this film. I mean, the sex is just it's not nice. Nobody's having fun. There's no love between these people.
Yeah, I have this in my notes. There's a lot of sex in this movie, but it is not a sexy movie at all.
No, it's just gross middle-aged men just raping people. Just raping people. Yeah,
and the rape scenes are just like the murder scenes. They are not like they're not. Yeah, they're just raw. They're real. They look so real.
Yeah,
they're shot so. From a camera angle that seems like you are the voyeur. See, that's the key. It's not like these murder scenes and these rape scenes. It's not like they are shot stylistically in any way. It makes you uncomfortable because you feel like you're sitting across the room.
You're seeing old men grab women, and there's like no, and then they just give up. Mm-hmm. So they just sit there in silence, and there's just like sadness. And
I mean, we're talking about Japanese culture. I don't know much about Japanese culture in the 70s. But I'm guessing that the men had more say than the women.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assumption. Yeah. Based if this movie is at all correct anyway. No, it's shot in a very, very realistic way, I would say. In a way that, this is supposed to, again, be based on a true story. This is not Silence of the Lambs or anything, that's entertainment-based tangentially on an Ed Gein or something. This is based on a real person's killing spree, and I think it's fairly accurate just in terms of
because it shows who he is. It shows the monster and I guess somewhat humanity of him because when he does hook up with the innkeeper, because you see it as a kind of true relationship. I mean, she wants an escape because she has her mom who was in prison for 15 years for my guess killing her father. That's what I believe so. I can't really.
Again, they don't
say anything, but she killed somebody. I guess the boyfriend maybe.
And she's a peeping Tom.
She's a peeping Tom.
So this is a brothel that Haru runs.
Yeah.
With her mother, who is a convicted murderer, who's done her time, and the prostitutes that work there have slowly stopped working there because the mother creeps them out because they know that she spies on them while they're with their Johns.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's understandable, right? Yeah, I guess you're probably right about that because they both come into the knowledge that this man is not in fact a Kyoto University professor. He is the wanted serial killer.
Serial killer and thief.
Is it the bad boy effect?
Maybe. I have no idea because I feel like that's the only escape she has. I mean, if you think about it, because the other one is the man who owns the inn, who keeps on saying he will give her the inn. That's never going to happen because he's an asshole and he just wants her for her body if nobody else is there for him. Mm-hmm. So that's never going to happen. Her mom's a peeping Tom who drives everybody away and destroyed her dreams because when she killed, I guess, the boyfriend or her husband or whatever, she had to go into hiding. She had to become a prostitute to survive. She had to quit the textile company. So this is probably her only escape, to run away with a murderer and have a child with a murderer. And, she thinks it's going to happen, like have a happy ending, but of course not. We know that it was not going to happen. We knew she was going to get murdered. We knew that he was going to murder her mother. I mean, at one point I was shocked when he was about to, and she says, like, you're not going to murder me. Like, don't you dare murder me. And I was just like, oh.
Yeah, at that point, he had been in full psychopath mode.
Yeah, at that point, he really did just devolve into monstrous behavior. Because I shouldn't say just began, because he was a monster before. But it was just like, that's the moment when, like, he became even less human than before. Like, that was the moment.
If I didn't know that this was based on Akira Nishiguchi, I would swear that he might have been based on Ted Bundy. Because I believe that was kind of Bundy's MO was like he was very well spoken. He was a good looking, normal looking guy.
Yeah, even though this guy wasn't like, I would say, like a drop dead gorgeous man.
No, but he's a handsome enough man that if you put some smooth talking, or if you can put on some smooth talking skills, so if you can put those together, like I'm unable to right now, then yeah, he's very charismatic.
Yeah.
And that's where he's able to succeed in being a serial killer, I guess. See, I don't know. This is a tough one to talk about, man. I don't know. Let's take a break from all this then, and let me ask you. Why was the father and daughter in love scene story necessary?
That is a good question.
So Iwa's mother and father, right? They're older couple. His mother's kind of sickly, right?
Yeah.
She eventually passes away, of her sickness or whatever, and it's almost hinted that it's like partially because of grief. She's in grief.
Shame.
When she finds out about Iwa's crimes. But then his father and his wife, who he'd kind of been estranged from since this spree began.
Yeah.
They were bathing together at one point, which leads to a very brief scene of them holding each other, and she's the one that's into him.
I don't know, because I feel like Iwa, sorry for pronouncing it wrong, like, at least I think he did love his wife, even though he like acted like an asshole and like disrespected her. Like,
he is possessive as all get out.
Possessive, yeah. Even at the very end, he was just like, "Don't marry anybody else."
Yeah. Well, we get a couple instances when he first comes back from prison. The movie does show when he comes back from prison for his fraud conviction.
Yeah.
And he basically asks, "Who you been sleeping with? Is it my father?" And then he's like, I don't remember if he hits her, but he's about, very close to doing so. It's kind of weird. So she wants to be with her father-in-law.
Yeah.
He rejects her because of his Catholic piety, and like as kind of a compromise, he convinces some train station employee to sleep with her. Do you remember that? And then after he gets out of prison, and he
the train station employee raped her.
Yeah. And then he goes to have a talk with the train station employee, and really just talk him, dress him down, I guess.
I guess there should maybe show the relationship between the father and the son, of how it's. I don't know. I actually trying to think of a good reason why they show this love story between the father and the daughter.
I guess
the father and the daughter.
I do think you're right. I do think it's to highlight some dynamic of some of the something about the father-son dynamic. These two do not have a healthy relationship. There's no question.
Maybe
about
to show like the difference, like how Ken Ogata's character is like he's willing to go that far, but his father, with his Catholicism, with his strength, was like, no, I would not even do that because he never cheated on his wife technically.
No.
He kept the distance until she died.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's to show the difference between him and.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Yeah.
It just seems like maybe you could have done it a little less clunky. I don't know. There were so many scenes with them that ultimately I feel like, I don't know, you probably could have cut a few of them or implied more, but hey, I'm not going to try and tell Imamura how to do his job.
I think it's just to show like the relationship between him and his father mostly. It was just like to show how they live different lives, and I don't know, maybe because it shows the positives and the negatives of each side. His father was a strong Christian man who loved his wife, but he was never truly happy. He can have a connection with his son because his son saw he was weak.
We just workshopped it. You're right.
Yes. So is this like show him? But you know, the strength of that is that he's not a psychotic murderer.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to kill anybody. He lived by his life, and he lived a very simple life. But it took forever, and he had to deal with a lot of hardship just to get there.
I think you're right, because one of the themes of this movie that I wrote down, and I think that you've nailed this, it's piety versus hedonism.
Yeah.
His dad is all about keeping the faith and following the Catholicism rules, all of them, even when they seem like they're a little bit antiquated or, not necessary. Whereas Iwa is all about the good time now, whatever scratches that itch, man. And I think that basically his killing spree, even though there's no defined reason for it and seemingly no hints that he's a socio or psychopath as a child, I think just it shows that he's mischievous. He's throwing the life preserver
that's the
off
bad
boat.
side. The good side, at least, if there is a good side, is that he's free.
Right.
He can do whatever he wants. He can fall in love with whoever he wants.
But it's an escalation.
Yeah.
Right? So, like you said, he's searching for that ultimate high, that ultimate freedom almost. Yeah, I think you nailed that, actually. I think good work. I think we workshopped that. So I think that whole relationship is there to show how Iwa treats his wife, right? As you're an object, and I own you. And his father, who, he's a much older man, and she's young and beautiful, and she's attracted to him, and he says, no, I can't, I'm married.
Yeah.
That it does highlight a key difference between them.
Yeah, so how is the key difference? Like I said, the strength and the weaknesses of both sides.
Yeah, so another thing, too, another theme I really think this is about, this movie has is father versus the son, nature versus nurture. So on that note, what do you think the title of this movie is in reference to?
Vengeance is mine. That's a good question, actually. Let's see. Well, who's he? I guess the vengeance would be. I guess the final scene. I think it's the final scene. The vengeance. That's it. Because it's like I'm gonna come back. Well, I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna do one last act of defiance against you, and that'll be my vengeance.
Have my vengeance. Yeah. Because as I was watching this, I was thinking, who is the... Yeah, because he's killing people that are so unrelated to him and his upbringing.
Yeah, and he says he never really killed anybody that hurt him.
Correct. He was too much of a coward, his dad says, basically.
Yeah.
You'd never... when he visits his son while his son's on death row, Iwa says, I wish I could kill you. And, Shizu says... you can't kill anybody who's hurt you. You're a coward.
Yeah.
You prey on people who have no fighting chance, basically, who you've lulled into a sense of security, and then you strike while their back is turned.
Yeah. And then the final act of vengeance that Ken Ogata's character has on his father is literally stopping Bones in midair and.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. But
I kind of love it, though.
Yeah, you gotta love it, because it's not the most ridiculous. And we saw Magnolia, we see fucking frogs fly from the air.
Apparently that actually has happened.
Really?
Yeah, I think when we were doing that podcast, I remember seeing that it's like a weird phenomenon. It's not like biblical so much.
Yeah.
There's like explanation. It's like if you're in a coastal town or like where there's tons of water, like in big wind. I don't know. I can't remember. I'd have to look back into it. But apparently that's rooted in an actual phenomenon.
All right.
Regardless, the bones floating in air is so outlandish, and it's a good comparison though. Regardless, to Magnolia, because I did not expect that.
Yeah, me neither. I thought it was just. I didn't even know. I thought they were just gonna throw the bones. And
I thought it was a Breakfast Club ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting for Simple Minds to start playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was wondering who the vengeance... I guess it's vengeance against his father.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because to all of us, I would assume most people watching say the father did nothing really wrong here.
Yeah.
But apparently it's a matter of
maybe
perspective.
Maybe it's his vengeance against his father's
Society. Could this be a man versus society story?
It could be, but it's not. The movie doesn't really deal with the society of Japan.
No.
I mean, each person doesn't really show everybody in the movie doesn't really show like the society of Japan and what it represents.
It'd be more against
not the classism or anything like that. It just shows regular people who work regular jobs, and
that is a good point because it is fascinating when you think about the central conflict in this movie. I kept waiting for there to be an investigator character that we followed. There never really is. We see the police occasionally.
Yeah, when they catch them, but they're like.
But there's no like detectives that we follow. Mm-hmm. It really is man versus man. It's father versus son.
Yeah.
It is an interesting conflict, and when I say man versus society, I guess I mean more so man versus the police in this case, the government.
Yeah.
Just societal norms that you don't run around and kill people. It's a fascinating movie because it's so hard to define for me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think this is a slippery one.
It's true.
It's tough to define.
It's definitely a thinker.
It is a thinker, and
Definitely.
It's one that I've been thinking about ever since I finished it. And I feel bad because I have you at a disadvantage having, you just finished this movie not too long ago.
Yeah. I think I would have to rewatch this movie again because the way conditioned I watched it wasn't the best way to watch it, obviously. But, I still very much enjoyed it. But
yeah,
it gives you a lot to think about. Anyway, well, I think, is that all we have to say about everything?
We can go to final thoughts.
I think we can.
Yeah.
Because, it's not really a scene-by-scene story. It's mostly there's a longer gating thing. So let's go to our final thoughts then. So Vengeance is Mine. I chose this film basically for one reason and one reason only. When I opened up the letterbox for Sohei Imura, this was the number one film on it. Vengeance is Mine, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it was. So I'm like, okay, let's do this most popular movie. So this is the most popular movie. I don't know. I think... I always think of like how film directors are like treated. Like, what makes Sohei Imura a great film director that he's not remembered like other great film directors? How come we don't know about his films? I mean, sure, we're Americans. We don't live in Japan, so we don't know the history of the movies there that much. All we mostly know is Miyazaki and Kurosawa. That's it. But of course, recently now, national films have opened up to the market now, and people are going to know more of these names, hopefully sooner rather than later. So maybe, like, for instance, Criterion. The reason we can watch these movies now is because Criterion has a whole collection of Sohei Imura movies. Mm-hmm. So that's great. So I'm wondering, like, I enjoyed this movie. Am I saying this was the best film I've seen in a while? No. I may have to rewatch it to give a full scope of it, but... But this movie did give me a lot to think about. Okay, it gave me a great portrait into Japanese underbelly, or Japanese life of people who do not live in high society or of the middle class. It gave a great portrait of a serial killer, an entertaining character at least, of a man who is lives for the lust of life, and that lust for life has driven him to murder and for thievery to keep on living for freedom. I understand the Catholicism a little bit because growing up Catholic and. But I don't think that really factors into the enjoyment of the movie. Did I enjoy watching this movie? I would say yes. Was it the highest enjoyment I've ever had in my life? No. It didn't get really me deep down inside. And that could be because of how I watched it, and that could be my fault. But I would give this film like a 3.5 out of 6 stars.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same about you. I don't know if I'd call this an entertaining movie. I don't know if I would call it quite the important movie that I thought something like Targets was. But it was a very competent movie.
Yeah.
And I think
it didn't give me a lot of fear like Targets did. Targets,
I think maybe it's because we can relate to that more. Like an active shooter is kind of the new thing.
Yeah.
Right? And that movie was probably a little bit ahead of its time. And I think that's more of an American issue.
Yeah.
Right? I think guns are not.
We can relate more to it because it's happening.
Yeah, for sure. But I think with Targets, having the addition of the Boris Karloff character. It was Karloff.
Yeah, Karloff. Yeah.
That made a big difference. I think that helped keep the movie it helped inject some levity into the movie. There's no levity in this. This movie shows very, very unbridled scenes of murder and rape and unpleasant conversations between families. It's not a pleasant film. It's not a fun film to watch. But like I said, it's very competently made.
Yes.
And I do think that the key...
It feels real. It just feels
so
real, yeah.
And that's where the horror comes from, if anywhere. Yeah, it's not... You're not going to be... It doesn't use jump scares. It doesn't use musical cues like a Psycho.
It makes you uncomfortable in the right way.
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's scary and it's realism. It's scary and, like, this is probably how, if I'm getting murdered by a psychopath with a knife, it's going to look like this. I'm going to fight him. He's going to fight me. It's not going to be just like a Jason Voorhees throat slit. Mm-hmm. End of the day, I wouldn't necessarily call this movie entertaining, but I would call it very, very competent. Damn good. I would say it's a damn good movie. I do overall recommend it if you are a fan of Kino, as they call it these days. If you like movies as art and you want something that's kind of challenging.
Yeah.
Because I did find this movie challenging.
True.
I would say watch this. It is not for everybody, though.
Yeah.
I would give it...
Just go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'd give it 4 stars out of 6. I think it's very, very competently made. I'm excited to watch the other 2 Imamura films that you've selected.
Yeah, me too, definitely. Yeah, now I'm wondering, like, I don't know, are we going to enjoy, like, if we watch films that are different from what we usually watch from films, you know, because we're, once again, from America, like, even though everybody in every, like, country has dealt with, like, kind of similar, that, like, we do, like blockbusters, all that stuff, can we appreciate the art of these films? That's what I'm doing.
I think we can.
I think we can. You know, maybe not for this one, we didn't.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, because every time you hear about these movies, I'm like, oh, this is a masterpiece, this is amazing.
Sure,
like,
sure.
If you don't, like, fully get it, you feel like an idiot.
It's made with different sensibilities than what we're used to.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't not enjoy this movie. It's just,
True.
It's not... and it's not entertaining. See, like what you mentioned with Scorsese and Goodfellas. Like, I can have fun watching Goodfellas, and I know that these are horrible people. I don't want to be like these people. I want nothing to do with that lifestyle. Mm-hmm. This is not filmed in as entertaining a way.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this movie shows basically snuff films and, like, graphic rape scenes that are very unsanitized.
Yeah.
It's not fun to watch, literally. But it is...
Interesting.
A very well-told story.
Yeah.
And again, it will challenge you. If you are not interested in challenge, no need to apply. But if you like something that'll make you think and consider a different way of life and consider what life in a different part of the world could be like, even if, you know, most Japanese people aren't going to get killed by a serial killer, but just to see how a different side of the globe interprets something so serious as a serial killer.
Yeah.
And that's almost where I see my American sensibilities, right? I'm expecting to see the point of view of a detective, of them on his trail. You know, in the 1970s in Japan, they probably didn't have some kind of serial killer task force in Japan.
Of course, probably in the 70s they also didn't have that either. In America,
exactly. So exactly, but either way.
I could say for one thing, I think it did kind of, like how society views serial killers in the 70s and stuff, it did kind of show that. I mean, like for instance, like when the prostitute like sees like, wait, that's the professor on the screen. She doesn't really do anything. And I think that's very relatable to what like America is now and back then. It's like, if you don't know, like, just don't do anything.
Yeah, if I stumble upon a dead body, I'm not convinced that I would tell the authorities. Because then my day's upended. Because then I'm going to be considered suspect number 1.
Exactly.
I'm going to have to go downtown for questioning.
Yeah.
I got shit I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that just speaks to me being a scumbag. But no, it's a challenging movie. It's not one... It's one that I probably should rewatch, but I'm not necessarily interested in rewatching. But it's a movie I can admire the hell out of.
I don't know when I will, but I think I will.
Yeah, I admire the hell out of it. It's well directed. It's very well acted.
Yeah.
My God, I bought these characters.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, very good movie.
Yeah. Okay, well that was our thoughts. Let's see what Ebert thought of it. This
Ebert time.
Ebert time. Highway to the Ebert zone. That was great. So Roger Ebert gave this 4 stars.
Wow.
And a thumbs up.
Oh shit, this is on his 4-star list.
Yeah, it's on his website.
Wow.
He gave it 4 stars. There's even a little icon that says thumbs up, and it's golden.
Nice.
Yeah. So the baseline of it is, the mini headline says, a Japanese masterpiece about a killer without a cause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yeah. So this is his. I'll give you the gist of his review. I'm not going to read every sentence. So he goes on saying, quote, "The title, Vengeance is Mine, poses an implied question that is never answered. Vengeance for what? This portrait of a cold-blooded serial killer is just a cruel force without motivation, inspiration, grievance. Unlike most sociological-oriented films in the true crime genre, it lacks the Freudian explanation for everything and shows us pure evil, remote and inhuman."
Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually right on the nose.
He goes on to say about Imura, as a stylist, Imura is a master of unobtrusive camera strategies. His point of view is sometimes a little above eye level, which is the effect of diminishing his characters, presenting them as perhaps as entomological specimens, so bugs.
Oh, yeah, like insects. Yep.
Insects, yep. So in other shots, he will use low angles to include backgrounds and deep focus, as the scene where Inokuza smolders in the kitchen where Haru is raped. Dripping faucet is placed and lighted to draw his and our attention. During the murders, his camera holds a middle distance, not moving once, looking straight down. He does not indulge in shot cuts or quick moves. He regards objectively. You can no more attribute motives to him in this film than to his subject. So basically, we're kind of on the nose. He's basically, there's no reason. Like, we try to think of a reason why this called Vengeance is Mine, but there's no reason.
See, yeah, that's just how our brains are wired.
Yeah.
We want some kind of reasoning, some
Yeah.
kind of, close the loop.
Yeah.
And maybe that is the brilliance of it, is that there is no need for it, similar to why there's no defined reason why this man is the way he is.
Yeah. Or it even says in the review, it says that his killer, Kuza, is also like an insect doing what he does because it is what he does.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Once again, Ebert, he's good with
He's
articulating.
yeah,
that
he's good at
stuff.
that, yeah.
He's absolutely right.
True.
It is like just it's his nature. He can't help himself.
Can't help himself.
Yeah.
That's the way he is, yeah. I do love in the very last thing of his review, it says, in the DVD, there's an interview with Imura some years later is utterly unhelpful and unrevealing, and for that reason, fascinating. What does he think of Inokuzu? He will not say.
Wow. So it's like the Japanese David Lynch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to elaborate on that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he summed it up pretty good. So yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, so basically, it's just about a man who goes on killing for no reason,
Yeah.
and he just shows you like the shocking truth of it all.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see.
You left out the last part of it where he also said, "There's also a naked woman on the poster. 4 stars." Fuck David Lynch.
Yeah. Yeah. So I forgot about the Letterboxd reviews, but I don't think the Letterboxd reviews are going to be really fun or interesting or like really weird. I don't know, but I left those out.
I can tell you that by the time that this interview is posted, listeners, you can find what I think of this movie at Letterboxd at Mike Mosheri.
Now I gotta leave that in just for that. I was gonna cut all that little part out, but now I gotta leave it in. I'm gonna leave this in too. Okay, so yeah, that was Ebert's review of it. With now exiting the Ebert zone.
Exiting the Ebert zone.
Ebert zone. Yeah, so that was his thoughts on it. I guess we're going to some little bit extras of it. Japan's New Wave. What is it? That's actually a good question because we have no idea what it is, and
I don't.
The man who directed this film is a major part of it. So it originated in actually the film studio industry, the establishment of Japan, where other like movements of really shown as to be independent is actually formed in the studio system, especially in a studio called Shochoku. It's a movement that challenged the traditions of the national cinema in the style of content, countering established narratives and genres with ambiguous complexities of the human relationships, such as this film, obviously, and polished techniques with deliberately rough ones, introducing the theory that directors should be auteurs of their film. So maybe not writing, but using the camera as the
gotcha.
as the easel, as the painting.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. As your
no,
canvas.
Canvas. That's what I'm trying to think. That's what I'm trying to think. Think of. Themes addressed by New Wave include radical politics, juvenile delinquency, uninhibited sexuality, changing roles of women in society, racism, and the position of ethnic minorities in Japan. This kind of died a little bit in the 70s because big studios became difficult to film. I'm sorry. I say big studios became difficult to fund these films, so it's kind of began a decline of those films. And yeah, so the decline of Japanese New Wave. This is probably like one of the last ones. This was 1979, so I think only
end of an era. Hey?
Yeah, I think it lasted maybe a few more years in the 80s, but after that, they kind of stopped doing them because one, no more money, and two, mostly all independent. Mostly, I mean, this was Imaw's first non-documentary film in 10 years.
Oh, no kidding.
So that was fascinating. Yeah.
Or none of the ones you chose are documentary.
I don't believe so. No. If anybody is interested in Japanese New Wave and want to watch more from these more films from them, various famous directors: Nagisi Osuima, Cool Stories of Youth, Night and Fog in Japan; Yoshigi Yoshida, Blood is Dry, Better End of a Sweet Night; and Masahiro Shinoda, Dry Lake, and With Beauty and Sorrow. Now, of course, I don't know if these are the most famous directors of the Japanese New Wave movement. I basically just chose random ones, or ones that were in the article I was reading on Wikipedia. I put notable films, but I literally just chose random films. Go, Second Time Virgin.
Ooh.
That was the most fun one, so I chose that one.
That sounds fun.
Gate of Flesh, The Catch, The Warped Ones, and Giants and Toys. So if you can find those, I suggest you watch those. Yeah, so that was like a lot of it.
That's a good summation of Japanese New Wave.
He joined a major studio called Nikashu Studios, where he worked as an assistant to Yuzo Kawashima. Imawa shared interest in Kawashima as depicting the real Japan with its uncivilized immoral protagonist. So yeah, he found a relationship with that. Yeah, so that's mostly it. I guess we'll go on to the awards. Dun, 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 dun. Was this nominated for any Oscars? No.
I wouldn't have assumed
Not
so.
even the foreign film ones, which was around in 1979. So the foreign films for the Oscars of that year was The Tin Drum, Germany, which won. The Maids of Wilko, Poland. Mama Turns 100, Spain. A Simple Story, France. And To Forget Venice, Italy.
Okay.
Actually, do you have films that were nominated in Japan for the Oscars for international film? The first one was in 1951, which was Rasaman by Akira Kurosawa.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, the most recent one was 2023's Perfect Days by Wim Wenders, which actually I do want to do him one day. So I'm very interested in his films, yeah. But of course now Japanese cinema has extended, and so has international cinema has extended, where it can now actually be part of the Best Picture nomination.
Rightly so.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, Imawari does not have any nominations for any international films.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it just sucks.
But his legacy will carry it on.
Of course. Yeah, we'll carry it on.
We'll
Definitely.
make sure that Americans hear it.
We'll shout it through the
people
rooftops.
that invite us to their parties.
Yep, we'll tell them.
Fun fact, I just noticed that he and I share a birthday.
Oh, that's cool.
September 15th.
That's cool. Yeah.
My Cash App is @MikeMotion. No.
That's cool. But it did win a lot of awards in Japan. I don't know if these are like equivalent to the Oscars or not, but it won the Blue Ribbon Awards for Best Film, Best Director, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Supporting Actor.
No kidding.
And also awards of Japanese Academy. It won Best Film and Best Supporting Actress. And probably more.
That's impressive.
Probably a lot more.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was Vengeance is Mine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm really excited to see what else this director brings, because I think we just got, well, this is the first taste of it. I really want to see what goes into more of it, because after, the only two more is Pigs and Battleship, and I forgot the third one, but...
Yeah, I will say I am more excited now to see his other movies than I might even be the ones I picked.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
this is
I'm
new.
equally
It's like we don't know
excited.
what we're going to expect, so... I mean, for the films you chose, like we don't know what to
Yeah.
expect either, but we're going to be like...
Yeah, I think for this one, it's more the subject matter. Like, again, it's hard to watch women being crawled all over like
Yeah.
the way they are in this movie. It's not a fun watch, but I mean, it's really expertly made.
Yeah.
And the lead actors do an outstanding job. Ken Ogata is
Yeah.
so cold and just He's darkly humorous, which lends to the psychopathy just being bone-chilling.
Yeah.
Really. He's so unafraid of... Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a performance that stuck with me since... It's one of those movies that, again, I've been thinking about it ever since I watched it. And to me, that's a sign of a good experience.
Yeah.
Right? A good film-watching experience.
Definitely. And I definitely...
So I'm excited for pigs and battleships and...
Profound Deities of the Gods. I forgot what the title was called. But
Too bad he didn't make a sequel to this where, like, as a skeleton monster, he
Yeah.
continues to haunt Japan.
it's going to be like those old 1930 skeleton.
That would have been great. Just completely undercut everything serious about this first one.
Yeah.
It could be directed. No, it doesn't even have to be directed by Shohei Imamura. It could be directed by like some hack.
Yeah.
Just ruin the legacy.
I want to see the man who goes into the media and says, "Let's remake this movie, Vengeance is Mine.
It's like Jaws.
Let's make a sequel to this movie,
Yeah.
a legacy sequel, 40 years in the future. Figure out what happened to that skeleton." Okay.
I'd go see it.
All right, so that was the movie choices. I guess that was our movie, and now we had to select the next one. So let's see what we got.
Spin the wheel.
Let's spin the wheel. What we got? What we got? Is it one we already chosen before because I forgot to get rid of it, or is it something different? Bob Roberts.
Bob
Get ready to see a
Roberts.
white man rap. Here we go.
Oh boy, I can't wait. And that means also a supplemental review for the season 6 episode, I believe, Sideshow Bob Roberts.
Yes.
So
Is that the one where Sideshow Bob like comes back and like the town loves him, but
yeah, it's when he runs for mayor.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So it's kind of, I think, I don't know much about Bob Roberts.
I'm thinking of the one where like he works with his brother Cecil, and then
That's a good one.
Yeah, but like Lisa and Bart try to catch him in the act the whole time. I think I'm confusing it with that one.
That's
But
a
yeah.
good one with David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a later episode too where his whole family's in it, and
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Mahoney plays his dad.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Okay, well, I hope you loved this episode. If you did, please like, subscribe, rate us. Tell us how we're doing. If we're doing good, if we're doing bad. Tell us. We like comments. We want to connect with people. That's why we did this podcast. Not because we like each other, but because we're in connection.
Yep.
Yeah. Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. Or X.
X.
X at it_dammit for new episodes, and it's still new to us for new episodes also.
Yes.
We should try to do more on that to gain popularity, but we just don't. Just because I'm just lazy.
Because we do this for the love of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Does
Yeah,
that make us fools?
probably.
Yeah.
Definitely. Follow us on Spotify, on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel now, on SoundCloud. Still not on Apple iTunes because I'm not paying $20 a month. I'm not doing it, folks. Okay, that's gonna die soon anyway. I bet. I don't know how, but it's going to. It's just going to. Apple, like the most popular phone in America's podcast service, will go down somehow. I don't know how, but it will. I'm just waiting.
One day it will.
One day it
There's
will.
no doubt about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you like that, yeah. So please follow the show, comment how we're doing. You know, if you still have any more suggestions of what we should do at the end of the show, because I don't know why, but I feel like every podcast has like an end something. Like they do like a little bit something at the end, whether it be a game or a segment or something. And we've tried to do that with mixed results, but we still haven't come up with anything. But we'll figure it out. We
will. You know, it's tough after a long 40-hour work week to
True.
go that extra mile
Yeah.
sometimes.
Or maybe we just won't do it at all. Who knows? Let's see what happens. But if we can actually think of a good idea, we'll try to implement.
We will.
We'll try to implement it. See, I can't speak right now. It's because this ginger beer.
I know that I personally peaked with the Welcome Back, Kotter or Sopranos episode game.
Yeah.
I thought that one was pretty good.
That was
but
a good
I had
game.
nowhere else to go. I didn't know what else to do after that, so I think I just stopped making games. But you know what? We will get back on the wagon for that. Don't you worry.
Don't worry. Yeah. Okay, well, hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next, 2 weeks or maybe another month again. Who knows? So really keep track of that. I think we should just keep it to a month if, I don't know.
It's not a bad rate.
Not a bad wait.
It's 2 seasons a year.
2 seasons a year.
Ish.
Maybe, yeah.
With some supplemental
We'll see.
episodes.
If we remember to record, we'll see you next time. We're breaking like all the rules of the book I almost read about podcasting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the next one to break is to call the audience a bunch of idiots.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
if they don't subscribe to our stuff, then fuck them. We don't need them.
True.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm Michael Moshe, and I am so full of sushi that I am now Sushi Boy.
And I am TJ, and my bones are. I don't know. I don't.
That's
know
it. That's the
what to
word.
say.
We're near there. Here's Robin Mitchum to play us out. Bye.